Hello! Welcome to TN's Boozy Book Club. I am Becca. Everybody say hi. Nikki.
Hi.
I'm Carter.
Hi, Carter.
Hi, Carter. I'm Beth. Hi.
Hi, thank you for joining us. Tonight, we are discussing Mindy McGinnis's Not a Drop to Drink, as well as Christina Lauren's Sweet Filthy Boy, both of which I read weeks ago, and I have had 3 glasses of wine tonight, so good luck getting me to make sense. Or remember anything. Before we get started, I did want to do some real quick book club business, because book club looks a little different tonight. We have a new guest, and we're missing Elise. So we wanted to point out that Elise's last book club was last time she was with us, and we miss her very greatly, but she's moved on to greener pastures. She has a job that she loves, and it takes a lot of her energy, so she has decided not to participate in book club, but she will still be writing about Channing Tatum and Beyonce and other TN IRL posts on her regular scheduled Friday time. So we're very glad.
Let's pour one out for Elise.
Pour one out for Elise. Thanks for all you've done for book club over the last 9 months. Hey, this is our 10th book club, you guys, I think, although I count wrong every time.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
I think it's 11.
Oh, crap.
Oh.
That means the last book club we put wrong.
Oops. Maybe.
I didn't know
This,
I titled
this
it.
has been a year. We started in June, I think. It's just
Really?
like
We started
next
before
month.
Comic-Con?
Yeah, I think so. But it was like we skipped a month or we went long for the Christmas break, so we don't have 12.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. If you're seeing this, by the way, we normally have somebody testing. Will you just, tweet us or something so we know that this is live? I see a couple of people viewing, but I just want to make sure that you can hear us. So tweet us or something like that at @that_normal. That makes sense?
Ask a question.
Oh yeah, ask a question. There's a new cool feature if you're watching this live where you can ask a question. I don't know how it works. I think there's probably a button you push and you ask a question. So ask a question and just tell us you can hear us. And back to business, we want to introduce our friend Carter, who has joined us. Oh, before I get to that,
What?
Sorry, never mind.
Denied. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, see you later. No. Before we get to that, because Elise has left us, we invited our friend Tiffany to be our permanent That's Normal Book Club member, but sadly she could not make her very first book club. She ended up moving this weekend. Yeah, life was crazy. So our goal is to have Tiffany, me, Beth, and Nikki, and Jamie when she's here. Jamie is tonight. Man, this is getting really long. Jamie is with Christina Lauren in New York. And then we would love to have one of you fine readers from book club join us every month. So that this month is our friend Carter. So Carter, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Carter is like an original Twilight friend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that I garnered such an awesome title, but now I'm going to put that on my business cards. So.
Yeah, please do. You're like one of the original
OG.
fans. Yeah, OG.
Don't tell the whole internet that, okay? Rude.
Her handle was the Twilight handle.
I
actually
can tell
don't
you
remember it.
thought of it.
I don't remember.
Wait.
We're not allowed
To
to.
the party. Late to the party.
Too far
Late.
gone.
Too far gone. I was going to say two something.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Late
Well,
to the party.
and I'm really excited that you're here with us. This is very appropriate, Carter, because you are an expert in root vegetables and dystopian cooking.
Actually, yes, you're right. You're correct. So, yes, I really looked at this novel from a very scientific perspective of exactly how well they could be storing their vegetables from year to year. So.
Right. And I would hope that we can get to discussing some potential, life-saving recipes for when this happens to us, because it's going to.
Absolutely. Yes. Totally.
Yeah, so without further ado, what are we drinking tonight? I'm drinking, actually, it's a different type of red wine. It's not Pinot Noir. It says red wine on the bottle. That is it. That's all I know. It's very delicious.
Is it
I'm
just a
drinking
red mix?
this one.
Like a
I guess.
mixed red?
What is that?
Ooh, I don't know. I bought it from the Costco.
Bean Day Piles.
Yes, I don't know. It's something delicious. It's very good. Also, my pants are from Costco right now, my sweatpants. So
This book club sponsored by Costco.
there you go. Product placement, ladies.
That's how you do it.
Very
CW,
nice.
take note. Take a note.
I am drinking a cab that
Ooh.
I bought because it had, the label was Iron Angel, or it was either Fallen Angel or Iron Angel. Anyway, it's in the kitchen, so I don't have it with me. But it looked like a comic book. It
Oh.
was drawn like a comic book, so I got it because I liked the art on it.
That's
So
all I
Iron Angel Wine, or whoever you are, I like your art.
Very
Good job.
nice. Well, I am in the process of moving, so everything is sort of in boxes. Not that it should surprise anyone, it's only 7. So I'm drinking water with strawberries and mango that you really can't see in there.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
That's so healthy.
It is so healthy. I'm like us East Coasters. I actually joined a wine club. I probably talk about this every time. And then I got swindled into buying an extra case of wine because I didn't understand. I thought it was just instead of my case of wine that comes to me normally,
Wait,
and it's not.
Did you join the Club W that's so, like, shilled on Facebook?
Yeah, it's called
I did
Lackway
too.
Wines or something.
Oh, really? Is that a real thing? I didn't understand.
Yes, and it's great. And your first case is only $68 or something.
Oh.
And it's really good wine. So this is actually, so I don't ever have to buy wine, and this is actually from that wine case.
Nice.
I joined
if
it.
you're drinking. What?
What?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say I joined Club W, but we had to quit because you have to be there to get it.
What is
Somebody has to sign for it or whatever. The wine club.
I don't think we have that. Pennsylvania's weird.
Anyway, we couldn't do it because I can't get it delivered at my work, and Ryan can't get it delivered at his work, and we're not home enough. So
We can have it delivered here. I'll sign for it.
I would do
okay.
if you're drinking something special, please tweet us / put something on the Q&A thing, which we really apparently want you to use. We did get one person say that they're drinking Gatorade, so thank you.
Very, very nice. I appreciate that.
All right, so we are, Beth, kick us off with some discussion on our first book, Knob Drop Drink. Oops, I'm in my pajamas. You weren't supposed to see that.
Yeah, this is our book, Knob Drop Drink. I had not heard of this book when we picked it, and so I had no idea what was going to happen. I didn't know if it had romance in it. All I knew it was kind of dystopian, and I was surprised. I really enjoyed it, but before we get into whether or not we liked it, let's talk a little bit about the main character, Lynn, because Lynn was confusing, you guys. She confused me just a tad. Here's the problem that a lot of people found on Goodreads. You guys tell me if you think it's the case. Do you think Lynn read, like, too young in some places and, like, too old in others? Like, did she ever actually seem 16 to you?
Yes. However, I think it probably was realistic, despite, she grew up with her mom and then some guy across the field that she saw every once in a while, like never talked to. I think.
Right.
So I think she was so much older, and then she read encyclopedias. So I feel like it was realistic. Because sometimes I was I felt like I was reading something pretty middle grade, just because of the way she talked or the way her mind worked. And then other times it didn't feel that way. So I totally think that's a very fair observation, although I feel like it fit. That's what I think.
Do you think it's also the genre? Like, I feel like with dystopian, it's hard to make those distinctions because they're in very different scenarios, very adult scenarios, yet they're still 16.
Right.
So it's kind of like this imbalance, or they don't exactly know how to act or how to...
Like, they're lacking social, the same social situations that we are.
Right.
Right. It kind of she reminded me a lot of I don't remember her name, the main character in Shatter Me. Except I don't know but something, just the way her mind worked, it just that very isolated, like some of that just like kind of, although Lynn wasn't as mentally disturbed probably as that girl was.
She's a little brutal.
Lynn?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like the first scene, wasn't she shooting that man?
Yeah. She's shooting away.
Shooting men.
Wasting people.
Killing
Ooh.
people left and right.
Well, that's one of the things I
Yeah.
think we have a question in there, or maybe I was just like looking up questions online or how, like, kind of researching what to talk about. Like, is that fair? Like the way her mom kind of instilled that in her, that protecting this pond was at any cost, at the life of somebody who's just thirsty, just walking across the land that may not be there to hurt them. I mean, can we blame her?
I think that her mom knew more than what she let on. Like, I think that her mom was aware that not far down the road or whatever was this society where her dad was in charge. I just think her mom had to have been aware of what was going on because there really wasn't any reason for her to be as isolated from Stebbs as they were, other than the fact that her mom, knew more than, I mean, she had to know more. And so I think it was fair for her to want to protect her from that, but I don't think that it was fair to keep her so in the dark about why.
Yeah, especially because her mom grew up in normal times, like when things were just starting to fall apart. So her mom did know better, and she had a normal life. She talks about, I mean, she dated, she did all these different things. So I think that is a little, I agree that I can understand it, but I also feel like she should have, taught her or let her be exposed to something.
I liked the part that, sorry to interrupt, I liked the part where the author was talking about, where, like, from Lynn's perspective, she said, maybe my mother didn't have that same, God, I can't, like, articulate my thoughts, but it would be that wine. Maybe my mother was with my father for so long, and my father was not right in the head, and maybe my mother has picked up some of that. And as us married people know, we do meld into one person after a while, which is, like, not always good. So I think there might be some truth to that. Maybe she was just around, like, in marriage, she grew up normal, but then her whole perspective changed after, I don't know how long she was with the father, but maybe she no longer believed that it was okay to share everything with Lynn. So
that's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Did anybody else think when Stebbs first came on the scene, like when they were doing the note back and forth, and this is just me being totally, like, oblivious to how this book was supposed to go, but that he was going to be the love interest?
She never indicated how old he was before he, like, led the note, I don't think. So
yeah.
But
I mean, and she said something about it. What?
Yeah, didn't we know he was, like, injured? Her mom helped him and stuff?
Yeah, like, in my mind, he was, like, he could have easily been, like 35. Like, that was around this age.
Which is totally acceptable for a 16-year-old.
I was like,
he probably is. Yeah.
Little May to December romance going on with Stebbs, because the note thing was cute.
Yeah.
I love it. I love how
then Stebbs ends up with who I can't tell how old she is, but she might be like 60.
Well, she's got Vera, the grandma. Yeah, you're right. I kind of figure Vera's like, so what was her daughter's name?
Neva.
Neva. So she was probably in her 30s, is my guess.
Yeah.
And then
late 20s.
You think that young?
Yeah, her daughter was 5.
Yeah,
they're living in a society where you need to repopulate. Yeah. So I would think that she had her kids in her early 20s.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I was super annoyed that it was Neva and Vera and Lynn and Lucy, and I cannot keep names. Why do authors do that? Why do authors they only have so many characters? Why do they have to start with the same letter or be so close that you can't tell them apart? Yeah. Why couldn't one of them be Mary and the other one be Lynn?
Yeah, let's go with something that has 5 letters. Like, I don't know, Jamie.
Candy.
Maybe it's like a Duggar situation. Like the person was just left over and they're all named M.
It was just it's annoying when you're reading and you're reading quickly and you're having to stop and think, wait, is this L the girl or is it the teenager? And who Neva and Vera were killing me.
Yeah, right. I just forgot who you were talking about right when you said that. And I honestly, I think it was like halfway through that I didn't remember Lynn's name.
Right.
Because I think it's told, it's not her, it's not first person, but still, like, it just didn't, it's told from her perspective, and it just was like, what is her name?
Yeah. Crazy.
Crazy.
My husband just came in. He's looking at me like, oh, man, I want to go to bed.
Sorry, right. You can just go to bed. It's not a problem.
You're just going to lay down
You
behind
have
me.
your headphones on.
Yeah, just get in there. Get in there,
God.
right? Somebody on Twitter, IBM, oh man, I can't do it. I can't read it. IBNEM66 said she's drinking a nice Pinot Noir from row 11, her new fave. So raise your glass to her because she's drinking my favorite, which, if you notice, the glass is empty.
Very good. Her name's Elizabeth, by the way.
Oh, so you always know everybody. You're
Hey, Elizabeth.
You can have their name pop up instead of their handle. Her
I
name's
don't have that turned on.
okay.
One other question. One of our favorites who we got to join Twitter, Carrot June.
Carrot.
It was Instagram. We got to join. Anyway, she was asking if you ask a question in the chat, will it show your face? And I said no.
No. It's not like a video pop up. That would be awesome. If you could, like, video ask a question, that would be cool.
That's next level Google
Next
Hangout.
level.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
It will eventually, I'm sure.
Right.
Ugh.
So ask away.
Yes, please ask us questions. So we're going to keep talking about Not a Drop. So what do we think about the premise of this book? That there's the resources of water have been lost, and the government has contained it and made people, vie for it or whatever. What do we think? Is that a possibility? Is that a dystopian world that you think is out there somewhere soon?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like until this book took place in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was California until something said Ohio or something, because I was thinking about how many droughts they go through, and like, yeah, no, I think it's a definitely possibility.
I liked especially the way that the authors that she said how it happened, that they originally said, oh, well, you have to come to the county office and they'll give you the water there, and then it just became further and further away until they said, oh, you can only get it in the cities. And I thought that sounded really plausible, I guess, from a super right-wing conservative Baptist.
Or just, it was interesting that they were like, they were pushing all the people together. Like, what was the purpose of that? To, like, just population control, like maintaining, I guess, control? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hurting them.
Yeah. It would seem like more people would have been out getting their own wells. I mean, wells aren't that hard to find, right?
I dug one yesterday, so.
Exactly.
I knew you were going to be the perfect addition to this chat.
She also canned several vegetables and a couple of jams.
I was really hoping for more, like included recipes and, description, allegory about what type of peaches they were eating from the can. So
right, that's coming in the sequel.
I believe so. Which that was my okay. So not to hijack, but like, and maybe this is a question later, but I saw somebody be like, oh, I thought this was going to be a solo book, and maybe she's setting it up for a second book, or is there a second book already in the works? I don't know.
It comes out in September.
Oh, JK, I'm totally out of the loop.
Well, I know. I don't think it needed to. It kind of felt like it. I don't know what's going to happen. I haven't read anything about what happens in the second book.
I did. I mean, I read the description.
Oh, you did? Okay.
It's a companion novel. It's not a sequel. It's not like...
So it's not Lynn?
Lynn is in it. Yes, it's Lynn and Lucy, but Lucy, I think, is a teenager in it. So,
okay, so it's years down the line. Okay.
Right. That's considered a companion novel.
Okay.
Plus, if we want to just go ahead and throw the spoilers out there, are we doing that?
I mean,
the full spoilers out there?
Obviously.
I don't know how you do this.
I mean, we all read it.
Spoiler alert for this book. I'm ruining it for you if you have not read it. Okay? Okay? Everybody, you ready? Just turn it off if you don't want to hear this. But what the heck would we sequel when Eli is freaking dead?
Right,
Crispy dead.
Crispy dead is the operative phrase.
Oh, that was the worst character death ever.
Oops.
And I was kind of skimming at that point, and I was just kind of like, WTF, what just happened? That was totally out of left field.
Like, why didn't they
I
kill
thought
Stubb?
he was going to save him. I thought, like he was going to pull the backpack off and, like, roll around in the dirt and not die.
And
he died.
she totally offed him in like 3 sentences.
Yes.
It was super quick.
Well, it had to be, because he was on fire. It was terrible.
Touche.
Oh, gosh.
Point made, Becca.
It was awful. It was really bad. I was really sad, and I really was not happy with that.
Really sad, because it was such it was the one light thing, I think, in this very dark world. I mean, besides Lucy, yeah, a little kid.
Although, to your earlier question, Beth, whether Lynn is written like under, or I guess like written as younger or written as older at times, I completely felt like a 16-year-old reading her, because I did not realize that she was flirting with Eli until, like, he actually said the words, "I'm flirting with you." And I was like, oh, for reals? Okay. I didn't know this book was going there, but okay, so.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought she was super naive.
Yeah.
Speaking of everything that you're saying, one of our readers, Kara, just asked a question and said, "My husband and I had a long conversation about sex in this book. Do you think Lynn had sexual feelings before Eli, or do those not develop or do those not develop when you're only exposed to your mother?"
Because she didn't know. Debs had to tell her about sex, which I wish.
Best scene ever.
Yeah, I wish that was. It wasn't a scene, because she kind of just glazed over it. So I hope this is going to be a movie. I hope that in the movie there is a scene. There is a scene. That will be a fun little, like, father-daughter sex talk scene.
You can see, like, Debs being played by Billy Burke.
Oh.
Right, exactly. I totally was picturing Billy Burke playing Debs.
With his can of Arcola or whatever.
Yeah.
Shotgun.
Yep.
Vitamin Oh, gosh.
Perfect.
It all goes back to Twilight.
It does all go back to Twilight.
Everything goes back to Twilight. Hashtag.
And I'm here.
Speaking of Twilight, real quick, I clicked on
What?
I clicked on a Robert Pattinson link a minute ago, you guys. He's at the Katy Perry concert in London right now. I know that.
He's at
I
a Katy
know
Perry
that.
concert?
Yeah,
Who?
Rob.
Pattinson.
Oh, what concert?
Katy Perry. He's at a Katy Perry concert.
So
in
do
He
we
London.
is?
something? Are they more
He's getting
than
his roar on.
Yeah, they're totally hooking up. Duh.
Ew.
Duh.
Ew.
Why not? She has fabulous breasts.
No, they're fake.
They're fake?
They cannot be.
No, they're not. I saw a picture the other day
So
of her, like, Christian days, and they were real. Good Christian girls don't have fake boobs.
That's
Fact.
she's not.
Just kidding.
No.
Just kidding. I don't remember to.
So here's my question. We go back to Lynn and sex, okay? Because I don't want to talk about Katy Perry. It made me angry.
No. Or about Pattinson.
But so why is she so naive? I understand that she's naive about sex. Okay, she's never been exposed to a boy. She's never been attracted to anybody before. The only thing she has is encyclopedias. But then why does she get so jealous and specifically, like, imaginative about what Eli and Neva might be doing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like she has a frame of reference out of nowhere when the whole point of the story is that she has no frame of reference.
Exactly. She has no clue what he's talking about when he's flirting with her or when they're talking about sex or if he's being overtly, like, flirty. And yet she has these really deep jealousy feelings about them physically. It doesn't make sense. That's why she felt a little off to me. Like, are you 12 or are you 16? Are you jealous or
Are you an awkward 24-year-old? You know, whatever.
Right.
Well, maybe she read an encyclopedia article about it after
That's
learning.
true.
I mean, they probably actually, it would have been helpful if Mindy, like, did that, like, wrote a scene where she was, like, scouring the S's in the encyclopedia to learn about sex.
Well, she did read novels. I mean, they had, like, novels and stuff too. So I mean, she's got, like,
But
But
he
she
doesn't
doesn't
really
anything
go
about
into
it, right?
detail about copulation, does he? I said William Yeats doesn't really go into detail about copulation in his poetry, does he?
well, not specifically, but
No.
Shades of gray. So
I just have a side note. I did get a, I don't know if you can see this. This arrived from my husband in a text. Can you tell what it is?
Like
And
Katy Perry's
all of
boobs.
them,
Oh!
they're real. They're real. So thank you. Thank you for your yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yikes.
So Mr. Choice is watching tonight, huh?
Mr. Choice is watching, yes. Well, Mr. Choice is, I live in a one-bedroom, log cabin, so he's here. But it sounded like I was going to say, like, I live in a one-bedroom loft, so he's on the other side of the wall. He has no choice. Mr. Choice has no choices in the matter.
Yeah, married.
Marriage. Hashtag marriage.
Hashtag fun times. What question about not a drop to drink?
Well, you said, we were talking about how I thought it was in California, and one of the questions you had and you brought up was how far in the future do we think this is? And I didn't really think about that. I don't think too far. It didn't seem like technology-wise was very much more advanced.
They still were using stalactite maps, so
What's that?
that was what
Satellites.
Boozy called them.
That's right,
Stalactite
satellite.
maps.
Oh, I'm confused. The water wenching thing?
Yeah, dousing.
Yeah, is that a thing? Is that like
Yeah.
magic? I don't, people can find water?
With
Yeah.
the stick and the...
Yeah.
What is? I didn't understand, and I didn't read it over again, like that section. I probably should have, because I was like, I'll just ask about it in book club.
Yeah, I mean, water dousing is a thing. It has to do, it has to do with, I guess, I mean, I don't think it's magical, obviously.
Why were they saying only certain people could find it?
I think that only certain people can.
Oh, and obviously that's going to come back into play if the next book is from Lucy's perspective.
Right.
She's a
True.
water witch, or whatever they're called.
And I mean, spoiler alert, next book they leave and go to California.
Oh, see? California.
Yeah, so they're going across
Ooh,
country
they
together.
leave the pond.
Yeah.
Would you have left the pond?
Yeah,
Absolutely
Eli's dead.
not.
Well, Eli's dead now, but I mean before. Her mom wanted her to leave before she met Eli. Like, did you understand? Her mom wanted to leave, right? And she didn't.
Why
I'm
would you
with Lynn. I would never leave all my canned vegetables, so I worked really hard for those.
Oh,
I don't think I would leave. I
can
think
see
I
your
would
pajamas, Becca.
Oh, sorry. Oh, man. It's looking so much classier a second ago.
There you go.
Well, I think the thing is, what kind of life were they really leaving? Like, is it a life just a mother and a daughter and nobody else, and you're killing anybody that comes near you, but you're drinking and you're eating? Like, is that life? I don't know. Maybe you don't have the luxury of thinking about having that question when the world is falling apart around you, but that isn't.
Yeah.
Her mom wasn't going to live forever, no matter what. What would you do, Twitter sphere / Q&A people? Would you have left before Eli? Obviously now we're all leaving because Eli's dead and our lives are over. But before that.
Good frame of reference for young teenage girls.
Oh,
Your
God.
man has died to a crispy chicken wing, and you have to peace out.
Peace out. Just leave it all.
Yeah.
Nothing worth living for.
All your peaches are gone. So.
I have to say, I am not a risk taker. I would not have left. I would have felt very
Exposed.
vulnerable. Yeah, I would have felt too vulnerable to leave. And I mean, and I'm also kind of the kind of person who I really want to hold on to the stuff that I have, and I'm nostalgic and things like that. So the fact that her piano and her toys and her clothes and all those things were there, I mean, and with Lynn in the beginning of the book, where just leaving felt like too dangerous, too scary, too wrong. It would have felt like you were doing the wrong thing. But I would have wanted my mom to have let me have people come into my life as well.
I'm with you. I'm also not a risk taker.
I'm not either, so it's kind of strange that I said that. But I guess I just think, again, what kind of life is that?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I feel like she could have done exactly what we said before. She could have made a life with Stebbs, and I know she offered that to Stebbs, and Stebbs was like, oh my God, I'm the worst person ever. Like, no, take yourself and your baby far across that 100 feet of field or whatever. But I don't think that I would have let other people come in either. Although she's kind of a badass, the way she's like, no, like stay far away.
The mom?
Yeah. Sorry. What was her name? Lauren. That's right. Lauren has 6 letters, so Mindy clearly broke the mold on that one.
Oh, gosh.
But it's another L, so.
It's true. Actually, you're right.
It's too much. But yeah.
Could we do a real quick F kill Mary?
Oh, yeah.
With a couple guys from the books.
Yes.
Obviously, we don't have very many choices, so Beth came up with these. Would you like to say them, Beth?
Yeah, we're gonna KFM. Stebbs, obviously. Let's Billy Burke, maybe 35-year-old Billy Burke Stebbs. Okay.
With
Eli.
a bum leg.
With a bum leg, but that's okay. Eli, you can picture him as whatever teenage cougar-y thing you want to picture, but Eli, and then Green Hat, because there isn't another male in the book. Green Hat, remember Green Hat? He's the good one.
And they have him at the house at the end, don't they?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And he was.
All right, I'm decided.
Okay, go.
Okay, so first, kill Eli because the boy doesn't know how to flirt, and that's just boring. So he's out.
Okay.
Fuck Green Hat because he's probably pretty desperate at this point, and it seems like a good lay. And marry Stubbs because he clearly knows what's up, and he's got that perfect blend of like amazing sensitivity, like, and also like I can take care of your shit, you know, but also love you forever. So
I like that.
All right. That's a good one.
I'm sorry.
Rebecca.
All right, mine is I would, oh gosh, hold on, I forget. I mean, I would kill Green Hat just because, sorry, Green Hat, you're just going to get killed. I would, wait, what did we decide? What is our rule? What is marriage versus fucking?
Oh, I didn't know there was a rule.
There is a rule.
No one agrees with me. My impression of the KFM is that the F is the only person you get to have sex with. If you marry somebody, it's just for their protection and the companionship.
So Stebbs is the one you marry, and Eli's the one you have.
Okay.
No, I disagree with that.
I love that, but you're thinking, because in my head, Stebbs is this old, fat, 57-year-old guy.
No.
With like
no.
He's like
Stebbs is 35 and
I
has
know.
a nice buzz cut and a little scruff and a little kind of a gray patch right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference.
Stebbs
Like,
is
I
hot.
totally did not think that, and that's so funny that you guys thought
So
that all
hot, Beth.
Stubbs is hot. I think Stubbs is hot. I mean, maybe it was my first impression of him because I thought the note was really cute.
Yes.
And I assumed that maybe he was the love interest. So my first impression of him was like, oh, Stubbs, you're wearing Carhartt, aren't you? So
our mutual affinity, Beth.
Right. So okay, my KFM is I think I'm gonna kill Eli.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
Hey.
But you were so upset that he died.
I was really upset that he died. But when I think about the KFM, Eli has no marriageable qualities. He is useless in that world, in a dystopian world.
Book
Totally.
husband ever.
Yeah, he's totally useless. He has no skills. He might be kind of cute. Yeah. He might be kind of cute, but, like, doesn't even try to get in her pants ever. Like, you've never been with a girl, and she's kind of totally maybe would do it with you, and you don't even try. Like, you have no game.
She wouldn't have any idea what was going on, so.
Yeah, you could be totally
bad.
terrible.
That sounds really bad, actually.
He could have been awful, and she would not have. Anyway, he's no game.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, I just don't think he's good for the F or the Mary. So I'm gonna kill him. I think Green Hat. I might have to F too. I'm going with Carter here. This is I've changed my whole paradigm here, but I really think that I might have to F Green Hat because he just seems like he's probably got, he's got some pent up stuff going on, but he's kind.
He's gonna last about 30 seconds, but I guess you can do it all
an
the time.
enthusiastic way.
Right? And I'm definitely marrying Stebbs. Like he is marriage material right there. Totally.
He's better than the material I married, so. I mean, in the book, at least, so.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, I will go to the stream and get your bucket of water for you to wash your hair.
Yeah.
My husband's like, I will call the water company next week. So.
Stubbs made them a house. He, like, made them a house.
Yeah.
We have a reader who killed and married, if you want to hear.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Carrot says, F. Eli, marry Steb. He has a well and can watch water, and kill Green Hat.
That's
me.
That's acceptable as well. That's acceptable.
Yeah, that was me. That's what I said. So I was acceptable.
Yeah. I would like to put forth as an idea, since we're big into book boyfriends versus book husbands, maybe Steb's morality would be too much for us, like 5 years down the line. So, I mean, for us four at least.
Oh, yeah.
As a husband, you mean?
Yeah.
But Green Hat and Eli wouldn't suffice either in this circumstance.
Somebody that's watching just sent me a message and said, but Green Hat is in a band of killers and rapists. How can we justify, even though he's the good one of the killers and rapists, he still is a part of that group.
That's why you only get the F with Green Hat. That's going to be a good time.
He did seem to have, it was like his wife or sister or something that he was protecting in like the prostitution ring, right?
Yeah, but I really kind of think that was like a little girl.
Ew.
Oh. Well, no.
Also, in the end, in the epilogue, did Mindy describe like who Green Hat was? Was he mentioned, or was that just my mind working overboard?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think so. Is his name Roger or Randy or something?
Yeah. Roger comes with an R. Roger, Randy, Randolph.
I thought Roger was the bad guy. But
maybe.
Anyway.
I think he is mentioned.
Going back to our TN question where we asked everyone if they would stay or would they go. Kristen Lee says, nope, not leaving my guaranteed water source in a world where clean water is scarce. Stuff. And then we have the cold woman who said, I think Lynn was on point to stay. I mean, they shot anyone who came close, so you have to think they might meet the same fate.
It's true.
True. And we have some thoughts from somebody who's a big fan of Lynn and thinks that we're giving her a little too hard of a time.
Okay.
Saying that she didn't grow up in this popular culture society, so her understanding of love is extremely narrow. It's confusing in the best circumstances, and she has like no frame of reference. So maybe that's why, like, her extreme, she goes to that extreme where she hears about this thing and she assumes Eli and his sister-in-law are doing it, but yet can't recognize Eli's flirtatious when it comes to her. I don't know. I thought that was a good point.
Yes.
And she did think that the journey that Lynn's going on is one of the best parts of the book, of understanding love and experiencing that. And I would say I agree with that, because I think Lynn could very well be like her mother. She could be this hardcore person, and she's not. She is very different, despite having been brought up by only this one person and only having this one perspective. So it kind of gives you that idea of we are not just the people who bring us up. You know, there's nature versus nurture. Some of that was ingrained in her, just the human spirit. Whether or not her mother taught her that, she still had that, you know, sympathy for humanity and et cetera, et cetera. There's some good points.
Excellent. Good job.
Yep.
So, are we ready to go into Sweet Filthy Boy, or final thoughts on Not a Drop
So what do we have? We've forgotten to give books wine bottles, or like what were we doing? Just thumbs up, thumbs down? Do we recommend this people read this book?
Now, normally there's 5 of us, and so when there's 5 of us, we do a thumbs up, and so then there's 5 out of 5 wine bottles. But we're just going to give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, and we'll come up with some sort of.
We'll make up some formula.
So I'll go first. I give it a thumbs up. I say read it. I say it'll be a great movie. I think it'll be a great movie. I can see like the Dust Bowl kind of Ohio farmland and everything like kind of spreading out. So I think it'll be a great little movie, and I think Billy Burke should really go for the role of Stubbs.
Would you be able to be like attracted to him in that way?
Would I be attracted to Billy Burke?
Yeah.
That's gonna ruin it for me.
I know.
Why? Are y'all not? Like, y'all don't think he's hot?
I mean, it's just weird.
crossover fic.
I think he's hot. And does that make me old? Like, I know he's like a lot older than me, but I'm heading into that direction. Like, I like some younger
that, yeah.
But, you know.
I kind of go for more of like a skinny Brad Pitt, sort of like that scruffy 40s, late 30s, early 40s, gray scruff. I'm there.
But doesn't she describe him as having like a belly? I guess that'd be really hard to have a belly.
I don't know. I skipped over that part, I think. So
I don't think so.
And I have that problem where I picture somebody in my mind. It doesn't matter how somebody describes it. That is how I see it. Yeah, that's like my thing. So I pictured him as this like fat guy with a bum leg, and that's what I saw. Sorry, Stokes.
Fred all over again.
Sorry, Billy Burke.
Beth gives a thumbs up. Wants the movie to star Billy Burke.
Yeah.
Carter?
I give it a thumbs up. I think it's a great read. I mistakenly recommended it to my 12-year-old niece. I'd really like to take that back, considering some of the themes that they go into about 75% of the way through.
Yeah.
Because I recommended it to her at about 50%, so maybe like 15 and up.
Yeah.
18 and up.
Right.
But yeah. Other than that one caveat, I think it's an excellent book, a great read.
Cool. Nick?
I would give it a thumbs way up so that you can enjoy the movie when it comes out.
Yeah.
So get in there.
And I give it a thumbs up too. I definitely was pleasantly surprised because I had the same thing with Beth. I did not know anything about it, just that it was going to be a movie and that it came out in September, and it was her first book. So you never know with that kind of stuff. And I didn't realize it's a companion book, so that'll be interesting to see. I actually was kind of looking forward to it coming from Lynn's perspective, but I guess they're older now, so that wouldn't really be a YA book. So that makes sense that it's coming from Lucy. It'll be cool because Lucy has a totally different perspective. Lucy is like a different person than Lynn, so it'll be fun to see how she brings out that personality. So I recommend it as well.
Yay! That's a 4 out of 5 stars. We're going to give it a no 5 in absentia. That's excellent.
It was excellent.
4 out of 5 wine bottles for Not a Drop to Drink.
Oh, oops, I said 4 out of 4.
Whatever.
We could do that too. No one will know the difference.
No, I don't know. We don't have, there's no rhyme or reason to what we do.
That's true.
All right.
Filthy boy.
That's
Yes, baby.
Oh, yeah, I get mine. Okay.
Oh, I just packed mine. Darn it. Where'd he go?
I didn't read
Mine
this
has
one.
a
I'm a
very-
bad person.
It's okay. Let me tell you about it. It's about some sex in France.
Yeah.
I heard that, and it's on my list. So
You didn't read it? Oh, man, it's good.
I heard.
It's good. It'll take you.
question. Is
Oh
it
gosh, I
in
just
English?
opened it up and just the best freaking quotes in here. I'm telling you.
Is it an NA book, Beth?
It is an A.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like those categories are so nebulous or whatever. We talked to Christina Lauren last month about Sweet Filthy Boy, and we asked them what was different and about this and the Beautiful series, and basically it's because the protagonists are younger. They're just now out of college, and so that's kind of what NA is, and kind of it's on the cusp of between being like erotic romance and new adult.
Yeah. Yeah, because it doesn't have like that formula. It doesn't have like the messed up person necessarily. I mean, yeah, they're going through their situations, but it's not like nobody was, abused. They can't. Their tongues weren't cut out.
Crash.
Exactly.
Yes.
I really feel like maybe I just came up with the best idea ever, and I'm not gonna say it out loud right now. Remember to tell you
Reserve
later.
it, because my husband is convinced that if he wrote a young adult novel, we would be millionaires. So reserve it.
Okay, I'm gonna reserve it because I may have just come up with my $1 million idea.
There you go.
I already have my young adult Outlander fanfic in my head.
Obviously.
Sell a million
If
copies.
you ever want Diana to talk to you, you cannot write it.
Well, if you want to move out of your one-bedroom loft, then you need to come up with your vampire teen damaged duo of
I got it.
characters.
Well, that's the thing about NA that Jamie says about every NA she reads. She said this was Twilight fan fiction, not like 1D fan fiction or any kind. She thinks every new adult book is literally Twilight fan fiction.
But it's not. I mean, I just talked to some NA authors last week, and they're not. I mean, they're not all NA. It's just It's just that's how we were introduced to those types of stories. They've been around for a long time. It's just so they all feel like Twilight fanfiction, but
Twilight
they're not.
fanfiction was not the first place that fanfiction came from. Like
exactly.
At all. It's just what made it maybe, that's how I was introduced to it. But
right.
I mean, I'm just saying that, like, I feel like now someone took all of the fan fiction that I read in shame and now made it published fiction that I read in shame. So,
well,
it's better.
Yeah. Like, now I can read it, and it's like that same post about, like, the American covers versus the French covers. But basically, I'm always still ashamed that I'm reading it. And to take it one step further, I gave the first 2 books of Outlander to my sister-in-law, who's 40 with 4 kids, and I was like, read these! They're the greatest novel ever! And I was like, but don't judge me because they're sort of like softcore porn. So I just need you to know that, like, they're going to be softcore porn in there, but like sort of fade to black soft.
But it's fine because they're married. They're married.
They're married. It's like reading. It's like an R movie. Outlander's like an R movie, and Sweet Filthy Boy is like Cinemax.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not One Direction in real life fan fiction. So
true.
That is true.
Stop piquing my curiosity, Nikki.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'm sorry. We had an announcement today that came to us via email about one, which I sent it to Beth, and I said, "Is this Twilight fan fiction?" And she said, "No, that's One Direction fan fiction." And I thought she was kidding, but apparently that's a thing, and it's published. And a lot of people are going to know what I'm talking about, but I will not say it. We don't talk bad about things. We just secretly talk bad about them.
Oh. I didn't know that for this conversation, so I'll be better next time.
No.
No.
You say something a positive thing. That doesn't mean we can't talk about the negativities or what we didn't like about something. It just means if we don't like something, I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm not going to recommend it or just do it.
Like a live omission.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, I did not read your piece of shit book.
It is pretty phenomenal that we went from having like 88 chapter Twilight fan fiction being self-published into national phenomena to a 3-part 500 million word real person fanfic about a boy band being given a 6-figure deal by a top publisher. That is a bizarre turn of events. And so it's worth talking about. It's a pop culture kind of weirdness. But yeah, I haven't read After, which is what it is, or whatever it's called. I haven't read it, so I don't know anything about it.
Now. Thank you.
But you're going to be able to buy it because it's coming out and published.
Oh my god! So you're telling me that there was? See, I'm so slow on the freaking update.
I know. I had no idea.
So you're telling me that a publisher purchased a One Direction fanfic and they're going to publish it? OMG.
Yes. Well, I assume the name will change. It won't be about them, right?
It'll be about another fictional band with semi-homoerotic tendencies.
Yeah, I think this is Flash. I think it's a hetero fic, from what I understand. It's not taboo anymore. It's not a weird thing anymore. I mean, for me, it's a little different than Twilight, but really, the Twilight fan fictions that started getting published first were really Rob Pattinson fanfics. They weren't Twilight fanfics. Yeah. Everyone was self-inserting themselves into Rob Pattinson's life, not Edward Cullen's. So it's really not that different. I've met some of the authors that wrote that and published it, and they're awesome. Like, they're the coolest people, and they write cool stuff now. And so, Well,
obviously the coolest people were attracted to Twilight because
obviously.
But I would like to know what the change was with Twilight, because I feel like fan fiction existed for a very long time, even though I, in my sheltered state, did not know that.
Did not know about it. Me neither.
But fan fiction existed for a very long time before Twilight. But what about Twilight fan fiction? Was it just that, every single woman read Twilight and was, absolutely pulled by Jesus to write fanfic. And then it was just like a wave of fanfic, and then by like Darwinism, there just had to be like a good fanfic in that wave. Like, what was it?
I think people
That's
would
my deep question
repress.
for the
I
day.
mean, Twilight left itself so open-ended. It was so sexually
So true.
charged, but there was no fulfillment. So everybody, and then it got so widespreadly read that people needed to take it to that extra level. But I mean, fanfic, yeah, of course, it's been around for forever, but in lots of different incarnations. But
I think you have to add in the social media aspect too, because like so many people were connected and they could quickly and easily tell someone the link to their favorite story, and those people got a following, and then of course the publisher wants to publish an almost sure thing, so
yeah,
I think it's probably the perfect storm.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it was the timing. I mean, think about when Twilight came out. The first movie was in 2008. Twitter came out when? 2006. Yeah, so people were just getting on it, and like that was just you're right. It was just such a perfect storm. I think just for so many of that. I think that's why it was successful, why it was at that time. I mean, it just, if it came out today, it would have been a lot different. There would have been a lot more noise and chatter to kind of fight through.
And Stephanie probably would have written a different story if she wrote it today. It would have been very different. I mean, we're reading a lot of different YA now that we're not out like gagging for fanfic. You know what I mean?
Interesting choice of words.
Yeah.
Gagging for fanfic.
I was just thinking about Ansel.
Yeah, you were. I read that a couple weeks ago, but I really like that book. I wasn't sure because I think the way it started for me, it started a little bit slower than the others, like where I was kind of in it right away. And I think because I didn't expect them to just like go off and get married. And I was like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
Right.
Carter's totally frozen on my screen. She frozen on yours.
Hi!
Okay, good. It was like the best face ever.
Oh, absolutely. I only make the best face. So, of course.
No, I loved that they got married at the beginning of the book. It was probably like one of I liked it so much. Because I said this before when we were talking to them and when we were talking about the book, it felt like a Regency romance because nothing steamy happens until they're married and those kinds of books.
Yeah,
and so the fact that they were husband and wife it puts this charged sexiness to every scene, like the fact that he can call her wife and she can call him husband, and it changes the dynamic a little bit into something that I think is a little hotter because they still don't know each other, but they have this connection and this, commitment to one another or whatever that makes it a little hotter, I think. Yeah. So I liked it a lot.
I think but when I first read it, I was just like, I'm not crazy about that. Like, not when I first read the book. I mean, when I first read that scene, like, when it happened, and I was just like, what's going on? I'm not sure about this. And then I probably got off the train or something and didn't read it for 12 hours. And then when I picked it back up, my problems was trying to find time to finish the book, and it was great.
Yeah, it was great.
It was definitely one of my favorites.
For not reading it, I'm sold. So.
Oh, yeah. Read it, Carter.
Throw in the location.
Exactly.
It was beautiful. It was kind of like she was getting to know herself too. Mm-hmm. It wasn't so much really about Ansel because to show Ansel would have given away some things that you can't give away.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Right.
So,
right.
I don't know, I liked that part of it too. It was a nice departure for them, but still familiar territory.
Yeah, it felt very mature. Like their writing felt like a lot more just established. Like I was very excited to see that. It's the first thing I said to them when I finished it. Like, this book felt so new and fresh and like just like you've come a long way. What is the second book? Who does it follow? Do we know?
It's Finn. Yeah. And what's her name? Gosh, Harlow.
One of her friends.
Yeah.
Hmm? So is Ansel the new like popular main character name? I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, main character. It's the real life. Who else is named Ansel besides Ansel Elgort?
Elgort.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's like a real person.
He's a real person.
I always think of him as being the character in.
Yeah. And I'm guessing I think they probably named their character him before, at least before he was like super famous. Maybe he had been named to one of the movies, but yeah, I don't think they would have named him that if he was like in the two big hottest YA franchises of the year.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oops.
Whoops.
It's okay.
I like that they're going to have like a super special mashup episode where they bring in beautiful characters into the Wild series characters.
I know.
I think that's
We know. Did they give you any tips of that, like how that's happening yet, or no?
Yeah, it's Max's.
The record? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
I think, yeah. It was like a friend, or it's a friend of a friend or something.
It's Max Stella's brother. Max's brother is going to be in another book as a love interest for someone else. So Max, we'll see Max again, which I'm very excited about because Max is my favorite.
Yeah, Max is a lot of people's favorites. You know how I feel about Will.
Yeah. I like Max. I like Max, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to like Finn, I have to say.
Which one is Finn? Is he his British friend?
He's the Canadian fisherman.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
You know how I love the Canadians.
Oh, yeah, hockey.
You know how I like working boys.
That too.
I do love working boys.
Working boys. Oh, my word.
Oh, it's all that NA she's reading with work. No, it's not NA. It's romance.
Trad-erotica.
Trad-erotica. Hard time.
That's right.
McKenna.
Okay.
Those girls got it going on.
Oh, my gosh. I have a super funny tweet to us before we move on.
Okay.
Carrot June says, my future mother-in-law convinced me to read Outlander in high school. # embarrassing. # thing.
Oh my gosh.
That's way worse than
the Thanksgiving table.
I could never tell my mother-in-law to read it. I would be so embarrassed.
She's probably already reading it and knows all about the water weeds.
I know. I feel like every...
Slippery water weed.
I hope not.
Oh.
She totally faded to black. She Stephanie Meyer'd that shit. I was disappointed. So
about that
with
scene?
Waterweed? You're disappointed with Outlander?
No. I'm just saying I feel like there was a lot of fade to black. I feel like there was a little bit of a Stephanie Meyer influence. So
yeah, but he's so dirty when it's not fade to black that it's worth it. It's just keep talking,
Don't get
Jamie.
me started. I thought we were gonna wrap up.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk Outlander.
It happens every time.
That's a separate one.
We did, yeah. It's talking Outlander. We're supposed to just talk Outlander and talking Outlander.
That's right.
Very difficult.
It is very difficult, but that is true.
Very difficult
to wrap up, but we did start. If you haven't seen it, Beth and I did a Talking Outlander, which was our first official of many times we're going to specifically talk Outlander. We'll have to bring Carter on sometime.
Oh,
to talk Outlander. There's really nothing to talk about right now, but who cares? We could seriously probably talk for the next hour about Outlander, so maybe we just need to do that.
Just don't televise it.
No, we should. Let's do. Okay, our next Talking Outlander episode is going to be Talking Outlander. Is it fade to black?
Ow. It'll be Talking Outlander, Sexy Jamie, and then we can just discuss.
I'm available that night.
I'll have to do some research. I'll call Sam. I'll call Sam personally.
I'm going to buy a second copy and then flag pages.
Yeah. I'm just going to call Sam directly. We'll have a little chit-chat. We should get Sam on Talking Outlander for Sexy Jamie. That's what we need to do.
Oh, my gosh. I couldn't contain the drool that would be coming out of your mouth.
Oh, God. I don't even like him.
I love it.
Oh, all right. Well, this was great. So, oh, boy, Beth disappeared. So we recommend Not a Drop to Drink. We recommend Sweet Filthy Boy. We had a great time. Oh, next month's books. Do you want to talk about the one that you know that we're going to do for sure, Beth?
Yeah, we can talk about it a little bit, but do you want to tell them what you're going to do
I'm going to BEA tomorrow, Book Expo of America. I know nothing about it except that there's librarians and they like to party. So I'm excited to learn lots of things about books. So I'm hoping that I come back with some recommendation of some book that we're going to read for sure. But our secondary book, Beth is really excited to read, and it has a pretty cover, so I'm excited as well.
I'm really excited. It's by Nina LaCour. It's called Everything Leads to You, and I mean, Nina LaCour wrote The Disenchantments. She wrote Hold Still. She's just fabulous YA. I mean, think kind of like between Melina Marchetta and Gail Forman in terms of like how much she's going to blow your mind. So I'm really looking forward to this one. So this is our secondary optional book for next month.
Awesome. So we'll put it up on the Goodreads book, Goodreads, whatever, group, and we'll figure out a book. If you have recommendations, we did get one email to us today. Tweet us, whatever. We're totally open to anything. I may not find anything. I may just walk around really confused in a convention.
Partying with librarians.
Or just party with librarians. We'll see. All right. Good night. Good night. Auf Wiedersehen.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Oliver.
Thanks, Carter. Bye.